Morning guys, I hope you're all keeping well. Plenty of news coming out of the world of Formula 1 this morning, and I hate to say it, it's not all good. I promised I would keep you up to date, and that's exactly what I'll be doing in today's video, and perhaps there's light at the end of the tunnel, but if you want to keep up to date with Formula 1 2020 news, subscribe button is down below. But we will start today's news update talking about the French Grand Prix, and as we all suspected after the announcement last week that all French sport would be cancelled until July, Eric Boullier, managing director of the GP French Grand Prix, has made the statement this morning that the Grand Prix in 2020 will be cancelled. The race was initially set to be on the 28th of June, the opening round of the 2020 season. That will now move to the Austrian Grand Prix, and we've got a little bit more news on that particular event a little bit later on. Eric Boullier did release a statement along with Chase Carey. All links to all of the articles and sources in today's video will be in the description. There's plenty of them, I can assure you that, ladies and gents. And Boulier's statement reads, "Given the evolution of the situation linked to the spread of the C19 virus, the French Grand Prix takes note of the decisions announced by the French state, making it impossible to maintain our event. The eyes of the GP Grand Prix de France Le Castellet are already turning towards the summer of 2021 in order to offer our spectators an even more unprecedented event at the heart of the region Sud." In addition to Boulier's statement, Chase Carey, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Formula 1, also made a press release regarding the French Grand Prix. I'm not going to talk about that one today, but if you want to find it, it's in the description below. But I do just want to quickly focus on the official press release from the circuit itself. Following the declarations of the French president to ban major events until at least the middle of July, to keep the stretching area closed until further notice, and recent decisions announced by the French government to fight the spread of the C19 virus, the GP Grand Prix de France de Castellet takes note of the impossibility to maintain the Formula 1 Grand Prix de France on the 28th of June 2020. The health and safety of its spectators, partners, and all of those involved in Formula 1 is a priority. The GP Grand Prix de France de Castellet supports the decisions taken by the French government. Formula 1 Grand Prix de France would like to thank all its clients, all the administrators of the GP, the Circuit Paul Ricard, all its partners, the companies working towards the organisation of this event. If you were planning on attending the 2020 French Grand Prix and currently own a ticket, more information about what to do next is available on the French Grand Prix website and also with the FIA. And I think that's the French Grand Prix summed up. I don't think it's a big surprise that it's cancelled. It's not the most popular venue on the 2020 calendar. The Circuit Paul Ricard, where it's currently hosted, has only made its return 2 years ago, back in 2018. It's not notorious for overtaking. It's very bright, as you'll see from the images on screen, with its distinctive blue off-curbing. However, with everything going on at the moment, this is the right decision. It should be safety first. That should be priority. And whilst other Grand Prix are potentially looking at making a return later in the calendar in 2020, France has said, nope, we're focusing on 2021, and I fully respect their decision. As a result, however, of the French Grand Prix's cancellation, we have seen more news regarding the now new proposed start of the 2020 season. In addition to his earlier shorter statement, Chase Carey and the Formula 1 management has put out a full press release of their own, tackling the issue of the opening rounds of the 2020 season. We're targeting a start to racing in Europe through July, August and the beginning of September, with the first race taking place in Austria on the 3rd to 5th of July weekend. September, October, November would see us race in Eurasia, Asia and the Americas, finishing off the season in the Gulf in December, with Bahrain before the traditional finale in Abu Dhabi, completing between 15 to 18 races. We will publish our finalised calendar as soon as we possibly can, and don't worry, I will post a completely separate video once they release the calendar. We expect the early races to be without fans, but hope fans will be part of our event as we move further into the schedule. We still have to work out many issues, like the procedures for teams and other partners to enter and operate in each country. Health and safety of all involved will be priority one, and we will only go forward if we are confident we have reliable procedures to address both risks and possible issues. Once again, you can find the full statement down below in the comments. And again, this isn't a huge surprise that the season is going to be pushed back a little bit into July, but again, this is exactly what we need at the moment. Nice, clear, concise communication with plenty of time for both fans and teams to make sure they've got their plans set straight. And yes, on the one hand, it's disappointing that Formula 1 is going to be starting in July when we all hoped it would start all the way back in March. However, it's promising that currently Formula 1 is still targeting a calendar between 15 and 18 races. Still a lengthy season, in my opinion, and it's nice to see circuits like Bahrain that have already been postponed are trying to work their way back into the calendar. But again, once that big official calendar is released, I will do another video, a brand new one, breaking it down, seeing what's changed, what's behind closed doors that they mentioned in their statement. So if you want to know as soon as possible, you know the drill, subscribe and notification bell. And our final story on the topic of racing behind closed doors, we head to the British Grand Prix. And yes, we had been expecting an announcement over the next few days. However, it's slightly different than I think a lot of people were expecting. No, the race has not been cancelled for the 2020 season. There has been no announcements about multiple races being staged at Silverstone in 2020, and no talk at all, I'm not surprised, about a reversed layout race at some point in the season. However, what has been confirmed is that if the race does indeed go ahead, it will be behind closed doors. Stuart Pringle, the boss at the Silverstone circuit, don't worry, our final statement this will be in today's video, issued his own statement regarding the 2020 British Grand Prix. I am extremely disappointed to tell you that we are unable to stage this year's British Grand Prix in front of the fans at Silverstone. We have left this decision for as long as possible, but it is now abundantly clear given the current conditions in the country and the government requirements now in place for the foreseeable future that the Grand Prix under normal conditions is just not going to be possible. Our obligations are to protect the health and safety of everyone involved in preparing and delivering the event, our volunteer marshals, our race makers, and of course you, the amazing fans. This is the best, the safest, and the only decision we could make. We have consistently said that should we find ourselves in this very position, we will support Formula 1 as they seek to find alternative ways to enable Formula 1 racing to take place this year. Following this weekend's news from the Department of Digital Culture, Media and Sport, we are now working with them on the viability of an event behind closed doors. Should this be possible, it will be of small comfort for you to know that the 2020 Formula 1 Pirelli British Grand Prix will be available to watch live on Sky and Channel 4 in the UK. And just as the French Grand Prix earlier, Silverstone ticket holders can either transfer their booking for the 2021 Grand Prix or take a full refund. If you want more information on that, Formula 1 website, British Grand Prix website. And I think that's enough reading from my half today, ladies and gents. But a lot of news, a lot to digest today. French Grand Prix cancelled, Silverstone behind closed doors, and currently that's set to be the second race in the 2020 season. So no news on whether Austria will be behind closed doors, but I would be very surprised if it wasn't. Still planning on racing through the summer, and the summer break I would assume is going to go in 2020, so be prepared to be flat out racing from July all the way through to mid-December. Not too bad, worth the wait for sure. I agree with all the statements that have been put out today. Priority should be health and safety, and if it just means a couple more months waiting to go racing, totally fine with me. I think we've all now accepted that the 2020 calendar and Formula 1 circus this year isn't going to be normal, but that's totally fine. And though today's news isn't the brightest, I still think we can find hope in the fact that Formula 1 are looking to do 15 to 18 races. They're confident they can bring Bahrain back onto the calendar over the course of the year. So don't be surprised if we see circuits like Zandvoort in the Netherlands also wiggle their way back into the 2020 schedule. But I'll leave that there. for today's video. I won't keep you any longer. And yes, if you want to see the news as it breaks for the brand new calendar when it's released, you know what to do. Subscribe button. If you did enjoy today's video, well, I don't think any of us enjoyed today's news, but if you enjoyed the delivery, I guess, I really would appreciate it, and it really helps the channel if you can hit that like button. Thank you all very much for watching. I will be back tomorrow on Twitch doing a live stream in the evening, Formula 1 Open Lobbies. The next video will be on Wednesday. Hopefully I will see you there. Thanks guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.